Check, 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 check.
All right, everyone, let's please take our seats. Please take a seat. And I'd like to have Lone AI and Turbo School get queued up for our first set of presentations. All right, let's get going. What a weekend. That was amazing. Friday night, we had something over 100 people here pitching ideas and 25 pitches in all. And those 25 pitches consolidated into 12 teams. And I've never been to a hackathon where I've seen teams this big, so it's really interesting when we start to think about how you were thinking about generative AI and applying it to something like the future of work. So we're excited to hear what your thought process is and was throughout this whole weekend. To echo Rob, our dev relationship person who was out here yesterday with his son, who helped all of you with your work you were doing, answering questions. In his words, and I know you're watching right now, Rob, come out, talk about what you've built and the problem you're solving. What you've built and the problem you're solving, and go into your demo. Get through the demo, and if you have anything to wrap up towards the end, use that time to do that. But that's basically the rules of the road for this event. Huge thank you to our sponsors. We had two of them. One is Hacker Dojo. Thank you, Emily, Kiana, and the rest of the team. That was an amazing weekend, turning this place into something that, competing with a number of other events and so on. Thank you very much for making it happen. Also being a venue that was really open to doing an event without thinking about price. So this event was originally put on with the notion of urging work. I was talking Friday night about how a lot of us in the room were hit by the tech layoffs. It's also an opportunity for us to come and upskill our skills, network, meet people, about what our future. So with that, thank you again. DataStax, all the food throughout this weekend was provided by DataStax. Some of you use some of their tools in their API. Thank you for that. We'll see that in our presentations. And then the prizes. As mentioned before, and it's also on the DevPost site, the winner gets a one-on-one meeting with Y Common. Their outreach at been there for over 10 years. And so she's excited to see what comes out of this event. What's really exciting about that is they just had a cohort graduate where it was all generative AI. And I don't think anyone at this point really understands what to make of the things that they're seeing, what they should invest in, how they should be applied. So she's really curious what comes out of this event. The last three prizes are Bluetooth JBL flip speakers. My kids bought one for me last Christmas, like the ultimate speaker. So I thought, hey, I'm gonna get, and that'll be a set of the prizes. And power banks. Drop your phone on top of a power bank, it charges, it's great. Then Friday night when I was talking, we're talking about prizes, and Todd Bezenik handed me a $100 bill and just said, I just want to contribute. So there's gonna be a fourth prize by Todd, $100. And Todd, I'm sorry you're not here. Then I'm going to go over this one last time. The judging criteria. Let's just pretend. Okay, so the judges are going to be looking at you on the 6 judging criteria. One is user experience / user. Had time to look about the weekend. Next is originality. Technicality is the third one. Practicality, what does that mean? Usable, is it something that solves a problem? And then moonshot potential. What are some of those huge ideas that you are working on? I've seen a number of you working on something that I have not seen done before, so maybe some of those are moonshot. And then the wow factor. What is it about your presentation? What is it about your app, your API, or whatever you built that is just like, oh my God, really cool? The wow factor part of this. And lastly, before we get going, here are our judges. You've seen them on the DevPost website. I sent out an email earlier to all the folks on DevPost with their extended bios. So if you want to know who these folks are, if you don't know them already, please check it out. We're going to go ahead and get started. So, Lone AI, are you here? All right, come on up.
Million, 2 million. Hi everyone, on AI. We're a P2P platform that connects small businesses with easier. I was inspired mainly in grad school. I was working on a separate project, so how can I generative AI in the process? Realized 80% small business applying for finances affected, 20% even try because they realize the banking system, they don't really banking system even. They are just discouraged by the process. 99% of the millennials as a generation are want to be in more sustainable and responsible investing, and also 51% reason ESG founded. So wanted to make sure that we're up with a different people at different outputs. So the US market, according to our calculations, has around 332 billion of the credit market lending, and our goal is to take 5% of market lending. In the last 24 hours, we tried to explore the fact that we can use generative AI to be able to basically speak with a chatbot, AI workflows and the data used logic, and then both sides, the logic connect both sides. The vision, we want to simplify and streamline the lending through a seamless single flow experience, enabling by AI conversation. We want to also enhance privacy and security, reducing the vulnerability. Wealth manager, just straight talk to them directly. We want to foster an environment that is friendly. This is where AI can be used. um, inclusivity, and also train a large language model. How long you want to invest? Do you care about environmentalism or not? Dashboard. So here, the dashboard, it's there's the ESG score, the risk score, how risky is the investor. So the observer is usually the least risky. Accumulator is the highest risky. We're having behavioral finance in there. The industries, some potential matches. So the chatbot from the SMB side would be having a different survey, different chatbot, and then would be able to match them together. And we use generative AI in this case as well to be able to do like a market research. Can obviously fix the prompt as much as we need to. Don't want to take too much of your time, but thank you for being flexible, everyone. Yes, Python finance guy. Or goal in the future. Yes, so a big issue with talking with wealth or with as a small business, talking with a human. Goal for us is have a friendlier way to with a person that yeah, but so that's where the Gen AI can be in hand as a tool to help this project. I actually have been working on project for a previously. This is a continuation for my grad school project. But the goal was to do a credit score system from the beginning, and I wanted to use this as a tool to make it friendlier. Obviously, there's the generative AI can be also used in doing the market research. It can be used in the matching process to query the data. Let's say, find me all the investor from the fintech side. That. We have Yes, I think that's a great question. We do have a lot of advisors. Of them worked for Netflix for like 10 years, and he scoring system. He's great with us for like the product. Um, honestly, the technicality of these things, it have to be definitely flexible to test. Yeah, I mean, again, we want to facilitate like a normal conversation. But the other one is we want to make it more friendly and flow. But you know, I'm definitely open to explore other possibilities. But I'm sure that you know, we have seen a great previously check and go to the bank and like deposit and all. And the goal is to make it simplified, but also friendly and human. Already used avatars and face, for example. Yeah, I mean, the fairness part can be enhanced. You're a woman, so the criteria, the color is not, you're already eliminated. But the other aspect of things is able to have bigger data models on, obviously serving our own data, that part of it, to be able to predictability accurate enough. Multiple ways that are being built. Building something called AI, where you box and where there's obviously multiple ways to handle.
Turbo School coming up. Be in line, and then who? Awesomeness.
All right. Yeah, so they've got a list of the order of the demos. So if you don't know when you're demoing yet, you can look at that list. But yeah, my name's Turbo. This is Michael. And Megan worked with us on this project, but she couldn't be here right now. This is Turbo School, the AI textbook generator. So far, we have generated 72 textbooks on my laptop on my local database. Now 73. I'm generating like 3 at a time on my laptop right now. And I'm going to tell you what a text and what one of our Turbo AI generated textbooks consist of, and then I'm going to tell you the 3 ways that we can generate them. So if we look at one of these, it's got a topic. So this one is emergency medicine. So the title of the book is always the topic followed by a humble explanation. And then we ask ChatGPT. We also give a little disclaimer about how ChatGPT is accurate. But we ask ChatGPT to divide the topic into 5 subtopics. And then, so this is the table of contents, understanding emergency medical services, trauma, cardiac, respiratory, neurological. Then, within each of those 5 topics that ChatGPT came up with, we generate 4 sections. So the first is the section of text, and that we ask ChatGPT to generate HTML text. And then we ask it to generate discussion questions about that subtopic or chapter. We call this subtopics chapters. So these are the discussion questions about chapter 1. These are the test prep questions for chapter 1. And these are the additional resources section for chapter 1. And some of these URLs actually work, which is pretty impressive on ChatGPT's part. And that was just chapter 1. Then we've got 5 chapters. So you can see I've got quite a bit of scrolling to do if I wanted to read all this about emergency medicine. But each chapter has those 4 sections. So we can go back to the list of books, and you can see some of the things we asked ChatGPT to write about. We got music, Python programming. I won't read all 75 of them. There's 75 of them. So there's 3 different ways you can generate a textbook. One is by going to the home page and doing create new textbook. So that's just type in user input. That's the simplest. The other way is we ask ChatGPT to come up with an idea for a new textbook and then automatically start generating it. And that's how I'm able to create like 70 textbooks without much thought on my part. We also tell ChatGPT to look at our we look at our database, get a list of all the titles already in our database. We send that to ChatGPT. That way, when we ask it to generate a new book from no topic at all, it knows what topics we've already written about. So it tries to avoid. We ask it, hey, here's a list of 73 books we already have. What new ideas do you have that aren't already on that list? And we say, but we also tell it like, oh, it should be something practical or useful. I tried to get it to generate things that are useful for the real world. So it says like investing, personal development, mind mapping, public speaking. And then, so that's the second way, having it come up with its own ideas. The third way is this is a typeform.com web page. So this is a real web page that anyone in the world could go to this URL and then type in what topic they want us to generate a textbook about. And it's hooked up to Michael's version of the server so that if I were to type something in, it would start building on his laptop. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I do. So yeah, so if I were to type something in it would send a Typeform would send an HTTP request to his server on his, automatically start generating a textbook for his copy of the database. But yeah, and then we made a little spinner. So it's all configurable with variables, right? So right now we have it set so that each textbook is 5 chapters, but we could configure that to be 20 chapters, whatever you want, or random number. Maybe we could ask Chat how many chapters it's appropriate. There's other things you can do with ChatGPT, like you can ask it to write in a different language. If you wanted to write textbook, tell it to write at an elementary school level.
Presentation. Fantastic. They pivoted. Textbook. How are you going to teach this? Validate.
So yeah, that's a good question. Is hallucinating, like making up facts. So ideally, we would have moderators editing our content, fact checking it, or now like Wikipedia has fact check. I can like go, I've gone to Wikipedia and like corrected NBA playoff. And then who are our users? Anybody who wants to learn stuff. I felt like I learned a lot in school, but there was a lot about the real. So that's my favorite topic. But yeah, theoretically we could generate for anybody. This is currently, we tell ChatGPT to do like a entry college level, like big simple colleges. And then when it tries to generate its own ideas for books and automatically generate those books, it started coming up with longer and longer topic strings. I didn't limit the topic string. This is an idea it came up with, but it's like a really, really long. Copyright. Yeah, that's an interesting question. I don't think I'm going to be able to solve the copyright issue this weekend. But yeah, if we're using ChatGPT, which has been trained on a bunch of data, I assume some of that data probably has copyright on it, and people are probably unhappy about it. Yeah, maybe maybe in the future.
Charge for it. ChatGPT.
No, I didn't know that. I haven't tried that, but I do know that you can send ChatGPT a bunch of data, and maybe theoretically could get the copyright to a bunch of textbooks. It only textbooks. So we're using Python and Django as a web server. Python library that OpenAI put. We're using a Mongo, and yeah. So obviously, lots of people are generating text right now, so there's an explosion of content. So we just got to make sure we're the best. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know. We're just gonna. It'll be interesting to see what happens. It's wild, wild west for. And yeah, we'll just. I'm not. We haven't this weekend. We haven't been too worried about monetization, but ChatGPT was trained on public information, so it's good about teaching certain topics. But like she was saying, if you wanted to create textbooks on internal documentation, that would be a really good use case too. All right.
I want my MTV. We are MP3 to MTV. Robert, this Jim, generative AI to take audio file in. We started using OpenAI's Whisper speech recognition because it has no timestamp. We ended up using Google's speech recognition from YouTube in order to generate lyrics. We use ChatGPT as in the role of a video director to create images that go along with the lyrics. And Stability is our visual artist. This demo is completely generated automatically.
That's OpenAI chat. Chat to stable description. Grabs those up, stuff tag. You can try it yourself. Colab.
Future will be adding some features to it. We generated this just from lyrics. And so this is using Stability's animation model to music video. A bunch of other future stuff that we're going to add to it, including visual effects, animation, panning, zooming.
Yeah, I'm a visual art. ChatGPT. Aspect of
That's awesome. Potato head.
hypothetical customer. Ox-
Future, which I'm just really excited about, that morphing incredible stuff. You have to pay per image, and that's of each frame in the video. Yes, there has to be paid model. Oh yeah, that cost $1.
Talk about prompts need to be detailed. So while the video was several iterations, like for one of the issues, idea, unless you put it into text happening. Also, first lyric doesn't start at the beginning. You have to be very specific about what you're. Tell it things. Oh, yeah, image. Oh, and the description is not. Connect all. Put that in the.
Each of the images are ChatGPT chooses the phrases and creates an image per phrase, but the theme also.
All the lyrics. Tribal knowledge. Had to be told, make sure that it contains all of the Table's vision. So I take the first result that doesn't, and results. Pick the.
We actually made it so it's editable, but that you could change any that for the
Users. Distribute.
Thank you.
So my name's Fraser. I've been, and we built AI-powered or Yeah, so with them. Have that. Having a
and show
add what a hero. We made a story of what we trained actual. And also the have known
Pick rock. Both they
great question. In this current version, you get to choose. Getting everybody. Have
Papa. Onion. Out.
at the point. Of reflection. Kyle says that. Yeah, we had at the moment. Although they would. Yeah, absolutely. Protect us. Ever's close. It goes to asked. They've just out of the prompt. Yeah, I didn't have an onboard. Ultimately, I want this to go, or you want to meant to be awesomeness. Trying to pitch. Someone asked the last. For the kind of coaching, obviously, charge would be a lot higher. Where that curve is, what's a super I can help.
So me and my brother run a restaurant, Curry in a, and we want to try and want to obviously take a better to. But there's over 100. Get everything for us. Someone look at all.
Let's dive into the tool. Now is processing. List of top areas. So while this is loading, we can preload it. Right here, we have 5 top, 5 through weight, all portion size. But it's very how there is rating 50. Now we know, okay, here. Now, I was basket use and react direct review. Plus these follow-up questions. I dive deeper. Of course, it's being a live demo. It didn't work, but we promise you actual for time. Right. The whole 4 seconds to load. This squirrel's a bit tired from all morning. Sorry about that, folks.
Not quite. No, the LLM generates different responses. We're scraping all of the reviews from Yelp, and so give that to ChatGPT models and kind of generate slightly different variant, similar but not the same. Yeah, we have seen that pretty consistent. We would just scrape them all. That's it.
That's the point.
And that is actually a really important question. We thought about it. That can use a high-level picture.
Really nice demo. Yelp is also ran.
Conversation is being recorded. We ran into issues, but services like
How did you classify? Like, how did you identify the top issue? 500 prompt?
yeah, we filtered by the star ratings. We got all of the data. Oh, and we have a Yelp review. Filtered for the lowest one.
Great question. I think we targeted negative, but what we want. Our presentation. positive some of I would be going
About across different. As pe- I want to go.
great
Great
idea.
idea.
One note on service not progress. What about if you respond to negative?
Time hit.
This is a good question. Have the review. Right now we don't.
Competitive, right? All my competitors better.
Great idea.
Um,
probably that is. Um, think there is
We tried. I think it's very tough to get like a
We're going to move the mic up just a little bit because it's really hard to hear folks or back of the room. So if you're presenting, please make sure the mic is and
This style is so simple. Just need to enter the occasion. Do next week, Sally. And I'm going to of outfits. I select the one I want. Just click buy.
Let me try to design an outfit for tech interview. So I will put basic. The design stylist will come out with a very descriptive what the client should wear. Then I can click try that on me. So direct me to, but for have it. Original. Okay, but let me back to this. So what it is actually designed to do is it will show him the actual Silicon Valley yeah, we experimented it with right. And what if and the other thing that it was able to do very nice on that. And this is the technical provide all will go to the Vestas or actually styling outfit it in generation actually outfit that was designed. It will look something like that. We can come back to that later. Let's talk about market size and opportunity. So at a parallel and yeah, we are doing a little bit of new, which is we're trying to like give you personalized style advice based on your occasion and location, and you can also see how you look like in actual. That part is also of people who have like tons of experience and PhD from Wayfair and NASA, and yeah, that is. Let me take this like first off, you can refine it, like you can make it narrower, learn from your choice. Like, what do you like it better? Like a tuxedo or a plain?
Computer's about.
Yeah, I saw.
One of the in architecture box called style gallery. Closet, large, at.
Oh yeah.
At all.
Yeah. So we're here for select from that part is actually about uploading the user image, but the data that we trained it on is basically lookbook data, like just lookbook data manufacturer, like catalog. Yeah.
So I think that's actually something that we definitely receptive to is trying to combination as well as what the so coming up with identify that is a bit of a tactical.
On top of that, we did some market research yesterday. We did a bunch of customer interview, about 20 people. And one of the findings is that guys tend to look for looks and outfits. And then you go shopping for maybe for one item, but you get the whole item. And so, yeah, one of the findings.
Oh, well, yeah, so actually love to so
So basically, one of the features at the end that we will build is like there will be a slider. What is your budget? Like this is the complete outfit look under $500, like that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So like if your budget is high, we will show you Prada, Gucci, H&M.
At the pulling from the book, your catalog, Nordstrom's, your version, personal shopper from. Hey, Matthew. Part of it that
cocktail party, and then you introduce the elements of Nordstrom's cocktail selection, and you can even like in the part of the image have a top right logo of Nordstrom going on there, or a Dior, or one. Exactly, that's right. Yes, so that's the angle of monetization.
With the customer discovery that we did, the color actually is a topic that came a lot with what we did so far. So might be something to.
Sure, yeah. So we actually looked at two main different. One is uploading a picture of yourself, putting something. It's a much bigger. So seeing there were some results. We also have the someone else instead. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were basically telling what the user's location is, occasion is, and all that. And we were generating a prompt in our backend system, putting it in ChatGPT for now. And then that comes with a very descriptive styling advice, like very descriptive, like blue, floral print, blazer, something like that. Then we feed that into a generative fill image generation, for example, fireflies here. And then that comes. Yeah.
The part that the team did during the weekend as well that we didn't display here, that we did give a crack at Replicate AI, that's a tool. And so Replicate was able to generate those images from like totally, but then we could not get the images back into the system. Came up with this solution just for you.
Firefly.
So we read through that, and they claim they have an API. It's just that their website is so kind of. It wasn't clear. So they say that if you have membership to the Adobe Cloud, they call it the Creative Cloud, only then you get access to the thing. And even there, they say send us a request. It was very hard to get to that point. Yeah. Yeah, we created so there are two GANs, right? One is this is the model for styling, where you say that, hey, I'm looking for an outfit for a breakfast on the beach or a dinner, a cocktail party. And that's going to come up with a LLM type text formative description. Then that gets fed into a second model that's for the clothing, outfitting. So that takes your picture and outfits you with the outfit suggested by that other prompt. The GPT doesn't, first of all, generate the image of you combined with wearing the Bermuda shorts or whatever. Yes. Yeah, we, for
Oh,
now,
okay,
for
okay,
the
sorry.
prototype, we are using
Okay, okay,
GPT.
yeah.
Yeah. But it is enriched with our thing. For example, we were asking GPT to add things like add a Nike logo or a Nordstrom logo into that, so that it's monetized. Yeah.
The reason why we want our own is because eventually, like our customers will be provide targeted stuff that is already in the inventory, like not build something random.
Yeah, and we added features. Our AI can describe how he can pick.
So we just got a request for the judges, and I'm sure this sentiment is felt across the room. After this presentation, we're going to take a 5 to minute break, then come back in, and we have about 4 more to go.
As a group product manager at Google, I constantly struggle with Google's out-of-date and ambiguous product documentation. Google's documentation is constantly out of date. Users get confused all the time. And at YouTube alone, we spend millions of dollars every year just to address customer questions about ambiguous or out-of-date product documentation. We'd update the documentation, have a huge effort. We would see a short-term improvement in customer satisfaction, a decrease in OpEx, and it would revert right back to where it was as the products, as policies, as everything changed. Scenes and the documentation.
We propose using LLM product documentation. As an example here, Email Help Center has documentation telling users how to do common things. However, on the other hand, also have Email Help Community, a lot of questions and frequently submit this answer, inbox button. What's going to happen here is this answer to our backend going to make a call passing the current documentation as well as this question to GPT and decide if any changes need to be current documentation based on this new information. Okay, so here we have our product. So let's say I'm a documentation editor. So I want to be able to quickly take a look at all these suggestions. We have a bunch of suggestions, maybe at the start of my day, and quickly see a bunch of changes that might need to be made based on things that happened in the. Go ahead and refresh. Made a suggestion based on the answer that was just made. So here are the suggestions that GPT made for us. Click the inbox tab. Click the mail button. That was based on. So from here, there's also here's the source, right, where this suggestion came from. So from the Gmail Help community to the, and from here, the documentation editor can choose to approve, edit, or reject this suggestion. If they approve it, so that change would be to the live documentation.
So essentially what we are looking at is once we have perfected our external documentation process, we would like to bring in even more input. For example, we have a debug databases, we have constant communication on Slack where updation is happening every day, and we would want to incorporate that in a very streamlined manner. We would also want to go one step further and bring on internal documentation into picture, where any kind of streamlining that is required in order to keep our documentation updated about any kind of product, our system can definitely deal with it. Furthermore, I would like to reestablish that companies are investing billions of dollars on trying to communicate product information to our customers or just about anybody within the enterprise. And we suggest that generative AI definitely has a long-term and an effective solution to that. That's our case. Thank you.
The first question, you have accept.
Accept, edit, and reject. So whoever owns the documentation would do that. So you're a technical documentation writer at Google, and you would see that tool. You're a human in the loop who's reviewing the content and deciding whether you accept that is edit.
How about the
Yep.
so how
Yeah, so we haven't, in days that we've been working on it, we haven't tackled that, but I definitely.
Yeah, so actually GPT is really good at like insertion as well and updating. So even though we don't have it in these sections, but we had examples where even if there's a new feature, it's always added on top of this. For example, these are a few edits that if there's like a code change that's added, accordingly look at the code and
So I also think that is kind of the beauty of generative AI in itself. Like, it's a deep learning model at the end of the day. And this is something that we could definitely address, like updation or missing data that is suggested through different platforms. So I think that is where generative AI comes like more into light.
Couldn't be more excited about this or dreaming about is generative AI will write code and actually live system. It's also a frightening thing because be writing something that isn't validated or some of us have been doing this by hand or based on 5 stars, 10 stars, 20 stars or upvotes. How is this different? Trying to figure out edit, reject. Really, you want to automate that to some extent so that the more relevant bubble up. We all have our ways we do it. You automated that. That's and the other bit is about products. Elevate the what kind of workers does it elevate their work? What kind of will be freed up to do other things down the value chain?
So I think on the first one, I want to make sure I understand the question. I think the question is around how do you identify what's the highest priority, and also how do you assist the human to automate. So I personally think that you definitely need a human in the loop. At Google, you're not going to launch help documentation without having a human in the loop. And so I think there's a role there, but I think there's an assistive role there of prioritization, because there's a gazillion updates. And so in past experience, we've done a lot of AI and quantitative analysis there's a lot of signals you can use to identify what's the highest priority, as well as to assist the human in figuring out what updates they should make. Yeah, as one input, yeah, for sure. And then in terms of impact on the workforce, obviously that's a big question. I think it would certainly free up a lot of, I can think of many VPs, like there's a gazillion stakeholders that was a little bit, but there are many, any text update, you obviously have a lot of cooks in the kitchen and a lot of folks who are like spending hours and hours in terms of, so I think there is some freeing up, but I also think there's new value created for the user and for the company, because you're able to communicate the product to the user in a granularity that you never could do before. Because you oversimplify your documentation because you're just like, how are we going to keep this evergreen? And you can't do it. And if you have this, you can be way more granular in your policies, in your product documentation than ever could be before. So much value that you're creating for the
Sure.
It's are coming from things that learn from the forum. So are you crawling a forum and are you feeding that into the prompt, or how are you, like, what does the prompt look like?
Yes, we are doing that. And we kind of did this in order to show what it is capable of, because in the end of the day, we want the enterprise itself to be making these updates, which is why we didn't think of it as a crucial problem for us, like scraping through stuff right
Okay,
now.
yeah. So you're taking forum, which presumably has like thousands of pages. Obviously, you can't feed all of that prompt, so you're planning to talked about before.
Yes.
But then I guess my other question is, you play with temperature at all? And the reason I ask that is, it might give you different results and it might give you something that change in the instructions, but it's actually just grammar change or something like that nature.
So actually, look at so we actually had a lot of instances where with the 0.7, a lot more text added to it, and even though it gets what the change is right, but just too much extra text for us to even care about. So for an update, like if a storage capacity changes GB to 12 GB, higher temperature will just give you 10 lines of extra text just to change that one figure. So we tested out, I think a temperature of 0.2, 0.3 really helps to just very succinct in what exactly we want. Just edit that particular.
Like a big thing here is how much overhead firm session. Forums themselves are often wrong. Scale data.
Right, and that's, I think, out which while as
we've all been there. We wondered, I really want to talk to Elon Musk or my favorite celebrity. I really want to know how it would be like to, text them on a daily. That's everyone's wonder. That's where we come in, Star AI. We're an AI-powered platform which focuses on providing a channel for where fans can interact with an AI version of their celebrity crush or star. Or Our main selling point is the fact that it's your star, your audience, no code. We're basically allowing everybody to access the power of AI to create their own personal chatbot. This allows for influencers who have no experience with AI to create a new way of interacting with their fans using exclusive data that is not accessible with public APIs or any other type of LM.
Now we're going to show you guys a demo. Okay, so this is the platform for the influencer. We made our own influencer. Her name's Lucy. So we'll type that in. And then this is the exclusive content. This is what we're kind of feeding the AI. So things that cannot be found on the internet. This is really kind of our value add. And then here we'll also have social media links where you can put a social media link and we'll, extract the important data, the important information, and use that to make the AI sound. And profile picture here. And then we have a custom link for each chat. And with this, we paste it in. And this is Lucy. This is our interface. We're going to be asking Lucy a few questions here. First one is how she's doing today. And as you can tell, she answered, and Lucy talked about what she likes, which is the new music and designing new clothing pieces, which is exactly what we wanted for fans to know.
So in the future, what we want to do is to make the conversation more realistic, so that the fans will have a closer relationship with their influencer, so they can feel closer. And also on the influencer side, we can use the message that the fan sent to the influencer and then perform some data analytics. Then we can create an audience report for the influencer so the influencer can actually know more about their fans. So this is a win-win situation where the fans get to get some exclusive information through the chatbot. At the same time, the influencer will get to know their fans better. And also, we want to implement, in the future, we want to implement this as a plugin for social media. So imagine you direct message your favorite influencer, and then you will actually get a reply on the user side. And then the influencer in the future can go on this platform to check out what their users want, what their fans like, and what's missing.
Of course, good question. So there are kind of alternatives out there. The biggest one is character AI, and this is actually like fans and other people bots. So essentially, just think of this as a channel to get information. So yes, you're not talking to the real person, talking to a bot who emulates a real person, and it helps the influence get information.
most important thing is transparency. We're not going to lie to the fans, say, hey, this is the real influencer. We have to let the fans know you are talking to AI and let them know that the AI is created exclusively by the influencer themselves. So you will have exclusive information and we don't have to worry about data privacy issues. Violating someone else's privacy is issue because the influencer will be the person who entered their information.
Fix this microphone, you be the winners. So very, very, very elegant UI. Thought into that. In terms of how the point or way that they can fine tune it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm going to do. I think it is from two perspectives. One is, to be honest, it's not will be the real like the celebrity. It would be like what the celebrity want to. To be honest, when I was talking to you, probably I wouldn't tell you like my secrets. I will tell you what I want. That's what we want the celebrity to do. Basically, they will configure their character positive, like awesome people, cool, funny, like what they want to show to their fans. And also for the information, we will have many different sources, like provided by the celebrity, which is different from others. Their biography about themselves, the books they like, and then their style, etc. So this will make the person more like self-represent.
So your customers are going to be these. There was a Washington Post article ago. Have services apps that allow them to. Issue was sadly thinking about stating what staff is going. How do you about? I ask, love me. What is love? So, words there are safe answers. Have if the AI, what happens when sideways are out of control? The old days, the other end of computers, what guardrails do you have about the future? How differently? How do you see those staffs of the celebrities working differently if it have going to be a in the loop?
That's a great question and a good, real concern. But I guess this is a question to all chatbot. Like general people have these questions. This is an issue that every chatbot needs to. So for our ones, as we mentioned, we will special. We have, but with the other chatbot that try to solve, we'll have an analyst system provide the summary of the answers, stations for the celebrities, and they can review it regularly. So our platform is safer than other chatbots. But question, that's a general. All the chatbots are way better. Yeah, great question. Yeah, for this YouTube one, yes. I think what we are trying to do is trying to learn that user's experience, trying to learn about that celebrity. So for YouTube one, what we want to do find the YouTube one will be mainly provided by celebrities. The ones that they think that present themselves, present their experience. That's what we try to do is probably use the video, understand video, and then summarize text, and then add the text as the context facts for the celebrity. Oh,
That's
great
really,
question.
really hard
Yeah, great
anyway, because then
suggestion.
you
Yeah, that's also one thing that we want to do is to put in real conversations that this need to learn like what the style of the celebrity, what the celebrity have said, try to mimic that.
Like that self-service.
They are locked down, and they will open up if you pay them. Oh no, I know what you're saying. We're not scraping the web for the influencers' information. What we're trying to do is the influencer enter the information themselves. So there are APIs for, if you like, you will have your own Twitter token that, I mean, if you have your own login information, scrape your own.
I'm not sure.
I think with that question, it kind of goes back to one of our big selling points about what we're trying to do with getting that data. The social media data, that's something that's kind of public. So even if someone were able to do that, then that would mean everybody can. We're not really trying to focus on that aspect of it. It's really that exclusivity of what does the influencer want the audience to know, making sure they can put down their own story, putting down, what their talking points are, whatever it may be. That's really what we're trying to get at, that exclusive offered public.
I think one of the interesting things is you could use as some early example celebrities that have a lot of data out there. So for Kim Kardashian, have probably 500 hours of keeping up with the Kardashians, right? Right? You could use a large language model to ingest all of that text, so that if I ask Kim a question, that bot might answer the question. So I guess that's my question for you. You thought of what those corpuses of data be?
In general, I think that in the public data, like the LinkedIn or other data, it's not our key to stand us out. Our stand us out is celebrities themselves that provide data. For example, we will not try to do something that currently AI do. We are trying to do like the celebrities. We need to provide data. I know they have the LinkedIn information, but they can provide a much more experience than the information or any platform. That's the unique.
Here's the last thing. We didn't really just start with Star AI. I mean, the reality is everybody wants kind of AI version. Everyone can have a need for this, whether it's business, whether it's healthcare, whether it's even low-level celebrities. Not everybody's going to have public data that's out there that can be grabbed. The idea here, going back to, when we expand, or if we expand beyond celebrities, allowing people to enter and utilize their own personal public.
Okay. My name is Alexander Batson. I had the pleasure of working with Claudio this weekend on our product, the Fast Flyers, by the Villager, at the website. How often do you see this? You walk to a coffee shop, you see a bunch of flyers all over the wall, on the tables, and they are always there, right? Awesome, great, we see that. Cluttered window spaces, usually maybe a low-income neighborhood, even high-income neighborhoods too. They'll put the flyers anywhere. We know that. We've seen it all. Free ads, right? This is the problem we have, or this is the problem I think store owners have been susceptible to for a long time. Free real estate has now been taken advantage of for the longest amount of time, right? Repurposed street art. Uber's got it. See an abandoned building? Throw it on there. Oh, in front of a restaurant, we have a ancient newspaper billboard stand. It's turned into a nice table. If you're cool at City Hall, you can throw your little flyer up there on their nice marble wall. Doesn't really look that pretty to me, to be honest. And clubs have been doing this for so long that they've learned to zip tie their flyers so they don't get torn down. How often do you see this? A retail store showing a TV that no one is watching and burning current. 3 TVs in a residential building that doesn't really, they're just never getting used. You go to an investor event and you're in a room with startups, investors, all the type of people you want visibility from your, startup or anything like that, and only 2 people remember to print out a flyer. Freestanding TVs, restaurants that have unused space, you got the rest, right? Oh, even better. You're gonna dial and call for an ad while you're on the highway? Gyms, we all have seen this, unutilized TVs. No one's watching them. You got the rest, right? And that's where Fast Flyers comes in. This is the generative AI piece that we are gonna just display for now. We've taken flyers, we've generated a blending aspect to match the brand of Hacker Dojo. So this is how we imagine if Hacker Dojo wanted to advertise anything that was going on, then we would let them, blend and show an ad in the space on the wall digitally. Here's another thing. When you forget to add free, I've personally worked with an ad company, and they printed these flyers without the word free and had to reprint again. Cost, time, legwork, all the waste. Okay, no doubt. So here, last part I have is the wireframe of how we believe Fast Flyers would go. Okay, great, cool. An unutilized screen here, you see. What we do at Fast Flyers is you have a QR code that you scan, and you're able to send your flyers to any business that works with us. Fast, convenient, and way cheaper than the rest. This idea would be a Oh, it's over. Drag it over. Okay, this is how we picture. This is the wireframe for Fast Flyers that we picture. Once you scan, you have the ability to send your ad, but you'll see this in your phone. Fast Flyers intro, time by price. Hacker Dojo earns what they earn. Fast Flyers earns what they earn. The tax. You have input for flyer prompts. If you do not have a flyer, if you don't pay for marketing, as a company, you can now put in your AI prompt and get your own marketing material made by AI. Confirm, sign up, get all that going. Confirm. So we have a dashboard, very simple. Amanda is now advertising with Fast Flyers, running campaigns that she has, a map, alterations and rejections, analytics, and messages that all track what her advertising campaign is doing. We have the maps, evidently, all the layout of how the app would look, but technically this is exactly like what we want to do at Fast Flyers is streamline the revenue growth and helping all these companies. Looking for technical co-founders. So I've done a lot of legwork when it comes to talking to businesses that are traditionally taking the free flyer model. All those pictures that you saw were done by me. So evidently, it does take a lot of legwork to figure out the businesses that are open to earning more revenue on the free flyer that they get. So mostly it would be a, let's say, grassroots effect, or let's say effort of going to businesses that are interested, finding them in a small for the MVP, just showing one good use case between 3 local businesses, getting synergy between their customers, and earning more visibility through Fast Flyer. Sorry?
Tech stack.
Tech stack.
Yeah.
Tech stack as in. Oh, okay. So yeah, I showed a short piece of the generative AI that we were able to get done this weekend when it came to the flyer and the manipulation of it. So it matches the brand. As I said, the brand blending aspect of Fast Flyers is to enable stores that are traditionally not trying to advertise other places and and businesses because they don't match the branding. So we want to make sure at Fast Flyers that if you're a store owner, you're utilizing your screens that are not in use, and you're able to have a branding kind of template API, what you call it, to blend any type of business or any type of product into your brand landscape. So we took Hacker Dojo's nice wall paintings and said, hey, this is kind of like what will look good, then complement the walls. Right here, this is an old model. This is not, you weren't able to get the relation there, but when it comes to new flyers and the things that we want to do with brands, store owners that have screens, we want to make sure that it reflects their interest in what they have in their store, and then any advertiser that's going to advertise in that store has to also adhere by that and change their
the generative.
So definitely the content in the background. The text, usually each advertiser would want to bring their own text and material so that everyone knows that there's whatever they're trying to sell, whatever they're trying to get to is there on top of the image or generated model. But we also anticipate that a lot of advertisers will have their own material that they would want to send, and most stores, from what I'm seeing, don't mind it. For example, you have a lemonade stand you want to advertise. We want to enable everyone that wants to get their message out a channel to do that. So,
great idea. It sounds like what you've got is an ad network. Doing is utilizing the space in the establishment that they space to the ad network. What I was hoping to see with a large language model or some generative AI was wizard process of creating such billboards and advertisements for a technical business owner as that space. So can you talk a little bit more?
Yeah, so that is actually one of the, I'd say, core pieces that we were also working on and trying to figure out how that piece would kind of incorporate in the look. It took a lot more time to build aspects around. Claudio is the only one that has the tech savvy. As I'm not much of a coder, I'm more of the designs. But when it comes to the configuration of someone who doesn't have any marketing, doesn't pay for advertising, doesn't do any of that creation aspect from scratch, AI is very I would say it's far behind in making that advertising flyer for you. It really churned up a lot of the things that we took and we put into it. So we're always trying to figure out how to get around that. And also we were struggling with the GPU situation of getting quality images that say, hey, I have a book club and this time. Can you generate a flyer for that? And able to like get to that solution, but as we're working on it, that's where the goal of this product is.
Hi, Hacker Dojo. How are you guys doing? Great. And sorry for the first attempt, and thanks for allowing me for the second one. Movie. How many of you familiar with the screenplay? We all know about the movies. You may not have heard about screenplay. And if you don't understand, I try to explain a little bit. Otherwise, you can talk to me later. So, screenplay is the foundation of the movies, ads, dramas, the stage dramas, anything they present in acting, or you need a screenplay. So the building has a blueprint. It's the blueprints are like inch to the accuracy to 1 inch. Similarly, the screenplay. Screenplays are the the foundation for the entire movie or entire drama. And it is 70 to 80% of the work in filmmaking. You don't believe it, do you? 70 to 80% of the whole entire work of making a movie, from pre-production to the post to the release, screenplay is 70 to 80%. That is even, you can check it out. There is a Steven Spielberg, from Steven Spielberg to any famous movie makers, they would say. Okay, why do you have to believe it? This is why. I am Murthy PV. I am the founder of the Silicon Valley Film Festival, and I also I'm a filmmaker. I have a filmmaking group, 700 people here. And fun factor: this Silicon Valley Film Festival was originated from Hacker Dojo in the first building in Wishman in 2009. Well, what is a screenplay? Why it is important? See, this is the Oscars' own homepage, official page, and here is they provide you the sample screenplay, the standards that explains you what the complete space, tab, how much tab it has to be, where you have to put descriptions, all those information. So that important it is. So it is a very complex work, and in order to do it, and you have to, it will take for several days for you. And only have okay, here it is. So I'm going to refresh. What I am doing is I'm giving, actually it's a transcript. It uses, thank you. So it uses Whisper AI for voice to audio to text transcript, and then it uses OpenAI and LangChain. So here is the script that just generated for you from the input that I gave. It says a story, He says, he asks her to come over and she says, no, I want to go. And that created a script, but it takes several days to create. And it is very, very complex to create. Any filmmaker you ask, it's very difficult write a script. And so I will take the questions so that I can give you insights of what I have done. Thank you.
Anytime you Austin, 5 or 10.
Absolutely, it's a lot of money.
So,
and there is a lot of
some authors like Elmore Leonard write in style that an adaptation of novels or novelettes take a lot of work compared to a novel that really not in cinema. The question is, you've got de novo movies, ads, don't have origin. Got a novel and train cinematic format with different story arcs with that cut time out of that human process. Describe where you reside in that whole thing, whether it's origin documents, create that formatting and value and color and style, like just your to say, write me somebody de novo their story and they're going to
awesome question. That I should be very thankful to you. I didn't think that dimension of converting the novel to the writing this very complex. Like I said, anything writing is a complex thing, and that's a very good input. This is what I'm expecting. Thanks for that. So there are two ways. So one is that the filmmakers, the writers or the directors all sit together in a room and they brainstorm the idea. So what I do is I capture the all audio, transcribe that into text. It's a chunk of text. It's not in any format. It is same to a novel format. So then I feed it to the LLM. Right now, I want to have your question, what technology you want to use. So I want to have my own LLM models running in my own server. I don't want to depend on any of the hosted ones. I tried with the MPT Storyteller 7 billion. That's why I wasted a lot of time for a couple of days. So this one, what you saw, was developed in a couple of hours. So I take that, transcribe that, and then I convert it into the Oscar standards script, which happens within minutes. Imagine that. That's for us filmmakers. It's a huge yes. We will just pay any money for that. Compare that months we spend on that, and then the most outcomes. What else we can extract from this script is that. Characters, list of characters, and then locations. What are the locations involved in the movie? So there are a lot of charts that maintained by the film production company. All the charts I would be able to extract and then keep on adding that. And there are versions in the in Hollywood. They have the different colors. They maintain for every version of the script. They have pink, yellow, orange. They maintain the colors. So hope that answers your. And this is the Oscar standard, and what input I gave is, this is the input I gave, and this is the output you get. Yeah,
piece
it's
all
a
those
it's a
actions
lang
together?
chain, and it also there is another important fact is that the authenticity for the writers, ownership. So I write a script, and someone else come and time for the same script, same story. So this one, I mean, the future of this product is they would compare. I mean, I would compare with right now. I started with AstraDB. It's a beautiful fit for this entire app. So we compare the similarities, semantic similarities, and let them know these are the scripts that I like, so that they can make sure they don't cross the line. And there was another question. Yeah, so the question is that a lot of the amateur filmmakers, every time we have filmmakers meeting in the Hacker Dojo, what happens is that they're so excited to be part of a movie making, but they don't know about pre-production and post-production. There are a lot of editings, and then there are a lot of script work. I always tell the people, you come with a script, I'll make sure you get the movie done. So this is how I helped, and we made about 50 movies like that. There were no script writers, very hard, and then I had to put people together, right, and I also involved in writing, and we ended up writing a full-length script, 4 of us, and a girl, she never written anything. We made her to as a script writer. She made an entire 90 minutes movie, full script movie. She was so happy. Yeah, go ahead, clap it. Thank you.
We're down to the last presentation. Motion skills. This is going to work a little differently. What I need to happen is actually the room to move a little bit. So everyone. Because motion skills.
Generative AI does so much virtual. What if power of AI this does in physical tasks? I think the power of generative AI help us. Motion is something roboticists have been struggling for 50 years. If we can do that, we build robots, just those who need care, build robots, help us accelerate the path to renewable energy. Maybe we can have robots that help us farm more locally. Endless possibilities. So there are some people like me who happen to have a humanoid robot in the garage and like to develop this kind of stuff there. But for today, for the hackathon, we just have a little doll who will be able to move her right arm. With this, doll brain. This is Mumi's brain. So Mumi can hear us, say something, and then generative AI, we've thought about this. A large language model. So we use this to have Mumi to us. On the other hand, what kind of action? What is the action? Now comes the so much about generative text. You can also we use D2M, several others, several ways to do. This goes from a text command like actually, but that's the just threw in some more inverse stuff like this. Microcontroller actually of an arm. That's what you're gonna just walk through this. One more example, just to be kind of a let's say like, hey, help me get up. Robot here. Right. Okay. Oh. But it gives the command extend arm. Model arm. So let's see this in action. Aaron, fire it up. If I may, I ask the judges to probably just come down this hallway here and where you can see the little doll and the rest just fire it up.
Oh, you can see the GIF here. This video is the 3D animation translated into real life, into robotics. Repeats this action 3 times just to showcase. Bye. Well, it'll do this action 3 times.
Or you map action.
Prompt for the, I say, for example, I said, and the LLM translated that into person bumping their right arm fist. Okay, yeah, the LLM's job is actually just to model the actual text emotion.
This is so cool. Describe priest.
So this here, the generative model here is used vector quantized variational autoencoder, but also when I mentioned there are a couple of others you could use, transformer, PIEs, or also just standard LSTM. So it's not about the architecture so much. But what it is important is that you do generalize cross motion. That is important. So here, all you saw were open loop, and you could pre-program those. But let's come to the task that actually gets relevant in robotics. When stuff that seems so simple to us, bottle of water. Suddenly, you have to adapt to the parameters, new strategies, depending on the location of the object, depending on other obstacles. This is where actually come in.
All right, thank you, everyone. Great presentations. It's dinner time. Pizza's outside. Judges are going to go deliberate. We'll be out in a bit. Oh, please take a bow. Okay. All right, thanks, everyone.
Judges, I guess, have come to a decision. So come in, grab a seat, and we should be getting underway in just a couple moments.
Okay, hackers. How's everybody doing? Do you have pizza? A horse walked into a bar. Bartender said, "I have a long face." So between Friday and today, I'm your bookmark, bookend tag, bookend. So Friday, lots of eager faces. People have a lot more sleep than they have right now. Everybody still has happy faces on today. Pizza. As I said on Friday, I am in awe of all of you. You guys have the technical chops to make magic happen. I was watching this afternoon as I was walking through the different groups, and you guys were in it. You were agile. You were collaborating. You weren't competing with each other inside your team. I think there was some kind of natural selection, though. By the time you're here after 48 hours, you've figured out how to work with each other. And you've gotten into teams, and you've gotten into a good rhythm. That's amazing, and I'm hoping to see all of you at another hackathon, because you're going to be one level up from today. It was awesome as what we're seeing today. The next one that you attend, I hope you bring some of these teams where people you met for the first time you got to work with. I'm going to commit for Mark, which I didn't ask permission to, but he's going to figure out a way to keep you guys all connected together. So when the next one hits, or if you just want to talk to somebody from that other team that looked cool, that they were doing something cool, you can do it. Really, one of the best and highest values of this community we have here in Silicon Valley. People try to copy it all over the world, but we work together. Teams, we collaborate and don't compete. Amazing. You guys competed here. Every one of you is a winner. The fact that you're here 48 hours later, it means that you're in with both feet. Really admire that. So give yourselves a big round. So, moment you've all been waiting for. The presentations were incredible. Been up on that side, filled with nerves. Computer conks out. MI doesn't work. The large language model doesn't work. I saw all this happen. It's normal. Good for you. It means you're human. But we all saw through it. We all saw through exactly what your vision was, where you were going with it. Really impressed, all of you. I'm going to go from back to front. This is not one of the official awards. We went off script. Said that we're going to have an honorable mention for criteria on the criteria. One that popped out, and I don't know what we give them. We just wanted to recognize them. Wanted to talk about a company that had wow, or a group that had wow factor. And really that has to be pink doll up there for motion skills. So just give them a round of applause. That's not easy. Robotics and prosthetics and all that stuff is not easy. Using a large language model to interpret that and to make that work is going to be. So we really admire that. What's her name? What's the dog? Moomy. Okay, maybe we'll have a version of Moomy, the Hacker Dojo from now on. In fourth place, and the company that, our group, be a company. I hope all of you have groups be companies. We wanted to say three things about this group. They had a fantastic working demo. They had a great tech stack. And they demonstrated a fantastic use of large language models to generate the output in an area that's still very nascent. So the technology wasn't their friend, but they managed to plow through it. And so we want to congratulate those guys, and it's MP3 to MTV. Congratulations. What do they get? Is this $100? Holy cow.
I predicted this is
for you.
$100. I predicted.
$100. Way to go, guys.
Hey, thanks so much. You're awesome.
Guys, winner. Okay. Number 3. Todd Besnick. Right, where is he? That dollars. Todd Award. Todd is forever etched. The third place. By the way, nobody loses here. Kind of like, does anybody watch The Voice or America's Got Talent or whatever it is, or competition shows? By the time you get in the top 8, nobody loses, right? Here's the number 3. These guys we really liked. They attacked a huge market. A market that goes way beyond, we believe, what they looked at as their initial go-to-market option. And we also believe that they have multiple go-to-market options that they talk about. I think that they're really on the edge of something really amazing. So I want you to give a round of applause to the team at Vesta. Big team. Yeah. The big, amazing, fantastic. Congratulations. You guys are going places. I think these guys are going places further than they even think. Coming down to the second is again nobody. This company, this team hit hard. All of us experience pain. Any of us day in our work. So they had amazing real life use case people suffer from, and it's expensive, a lot of money every day. They also had a fantastic use of generative AI to read from the code base. By now they know who they are. Give a big hand for DocuSign. Remember I said boring things make a lot of money? Does anybody know how much time and wasted? Put a number to like what you ROI for each average company. All right, good job, good job. Hey, just don't tell your bosses you did this. They'll claim it as theirs, and they're okay. So this company group really stood out because they had a fantastic working demo. Their pitch was clear, easy to understand. The value proposition, you have to look for. And we also felt that in that market, there was a lot of low-hanging fruit. In other words, they weren't going to have to work too hard to get real market feedback, get validation, and adjust and keep going. These folks really hit hard because in their demo and in their illustrations, you could see the mess they were addressing. So by now you know who they are. Give a big hand to our grand prize winner, Review Squirrel. Oh, the prize is a one-on-one meeting with Y Combinator's Kat Milanek, and she is the global head of outreach. That's a big meeting. So who are the guys? Vesta, you guys need to garb them. They wear their best stuff. Okay? All right? All right. Not that you don't look great now. All right. Hey. Enjoy your pizza. Enjoy each other. Mark's going to help keep you connected. Nobody trades business cards anymore. Just enjoy the rest of the evening. Have fun. Thanks for being here.
Before everyone heads off, want to just take a quick moment and on behalf of Hacker Dojo, thank all of you for your participation this weekend. I'm personally blown away by everything that you guys have put together and accomplished in just 48 short hours. And also a big thank you to all of our judges. Can I get a round of applause for the judges who came out? And want to welcome all of you back. Hacker Dojo is a nonprofit organization. We exist based on the support of community members like all of you. And that is everything from attending events like this and just being part of the amazing energy and idea sharing and collaboration that we've had all weekend, to becoming a member, having your startup here, whatever it may be, donating to support a 501c3. We appreciate all of the support that the community has been so generous with. If you're able to, and want to see more events like this, please go onto our website. We have a donate button right up at the top, and it's fully tax deductible. We are hoping to grow and expand this organization, but we can only do that with your support. So come back, join as members, come back, join as guests. We are open every single day for guests, and look forward to seeing you on here. And Matt has one more thing to say, it looks like.
Join Hacker Dojo.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, you can go onto our website and join. Gets you lots of extra perks, and we look forward to seeing you all in the community. Thank you.